Hi, everyone, and welcome to Nat Chats. This is where we talk about the messy middle of business, leadership, and life. And this is the part where we talk about the in between of the business vision or leadership vision and the reality. And so, this is the part where I'm still trying to figure things out, where I'm carrying a lot of responsibility and I'm trying to make decisions that actually fit. And I hope that my insights and my stories can help you. And today I decided to sit outside because it's beautiful out. It felt best for me. So, welcome to a part of my backyard. Here we are. I wanted to talk today about something that I've been having a lot of internal chats with myself and some chats with other people about. And that has been the need for me to really evaluate my time and my leadership style. And this has been coming up a lot for me lately because I've reached some of my big business goals, and some of my big business goals was to scale, and that has been by building a team. I was wanted more collaborators, more support, more people internally to execute. And I've really been able to do that, which is so cool. I brought people on to support operations, execution, and programs so that I could really truly start to really spend the time that I loved. And that was working with my clients and really meeting their needs. And I really didn't want to do everything in this business alone, and I was really cautious about burning out. So I have been intentionally working on growth, and it's really been something that I have envisioned over the lifespan of this business, and I've been actively creating it. Yay! So here's where things get sticky and that I've been having some deep conversations with myself is that now that this growth was actually in place, and even though this growth is exactly what I wanted, I've noticed that my habits around how I use my time really needed to start to match to this business that I had built. I was still kind of approaching parts of this work like an operator, and it was starting to really create friction within this team and this business that I'd built. And what I started to realize is that I was starting to become the roadblock for my team to actually execute the work that they need to. And that's not necessarily because I was doing something wrong, but because I was still using this operator lens in this business. And now what it has required of me is to become a strategic leader and use that lens in every part of my business. So here's what happens as an operator in the business. I'm used to solving all the problems, being in the details, and moving things forward really quickly and doing it all myself. What happens when you start to look and become a leader is really that strategic leadership lens is your time needs to look different. It's more about clarity, direction. It's about making decisions and actually creating the conditions for other people to move. And what I had started to realize is that my team was not asking me for more execution. They were in some areas, but what they really needed is more of my clarity. And what they needed is more of the vision. And even though this isn't the first time that I'm leading at this level or leading teams, I have these skills in place. I've had these habits before, but it has been a different experience and reaching this stage of business just over the last few years and doing it in a business that I've been solo at for a few years. And so a lot of those skills and that leadership required more reactivation, and it required me to create or reactivate habits that I hadn't needed in a while because I was running everything solo. So let's talk about what I started to do. Once I noticed that I was creating friction and I was the roadblock, is I realized that I needed to start tracking and doing my time differently because it's not about tracking more hours, and I didn't need to become more efficient anymore. What I actually needed to do is ask a different question of myself. And that was, what does this stage of this business actually need from me? So here's what I started to ask myself so that I could really look at my time, audit it, and create habits that actually fit the business at this stage. And here's what I asked. Was I being clear enough on the vision of the business for the team? Did each area have a clear strategy, goal, and metric? Where am I still operating out of old habits instead of intention? And what decisions were waiting on me that technically shouldn't be waiting on me, right? Like, who's waiting on me? And who needed my leadership and not my execution? Who didn't need me in the weeds, but actually just needed me to provide leadership, direction, and vision? And so what this reframe allowing me to do and was allowing me to do was really take more accountability for what's mine. Because if I really want this business to grow, I can't be the bottleneck. And the goal was never for everyone to solely depend on me. The goal was to create so much clarity around this business so that people could actually activate in their roles without a ton of friction. And really, it's so that clients can have the best possible experience. And I want this business to grow really sustainably, really well, and have a really great team that loves the work that they do. So what that means is I need to give my time and energy into the things that actually create the biggest impact. And that has meant adjusting my leadership style to match the direction of the business. So I hope that right now, if you're in a season where you're in a season of growth, where maybe things are working, but they feel maybe slower, stickier, heavier, or you're noticing that you are becoming the roadblock in your business, it's not because you're behind. It's not because you don't have the skills. It might just be because you're outgrowing the old way of utilizing your time. And so the big question I'm going to ask from you is, where might your time need to change to support the growth that you actually asked for? And what can you do about it? So thank you so much for listening to this Nat Chat.